right, David McKinney from GatewayMMA.com here with JT Miller at Fight Night in the Flats. First fight of the night, get a quick TKO. Talk about the win.
Well, I caught a little bit of a bug a week ago, so my chest's still a little tight, so just went out there, stuck my first jab, saw it worked, did a 1-2, he backed up to the fence, and then my wrestling took over, put him on the ground, and then just try and pound him out. I tried to get an arm triangle in there, but he defended it pretty well, so I just took them out and gave him a beating.
Right, and obviously we know you're a wrestler out of Cleveland State, hometown guy. Can you just talk a little bit about how your wrestling helps you in MMA?
Wrestling helps me extremely, man. It's my save-all. Like, there's not many people that's gonna stop me. Even other wrestlers aren't gonna stop me from putting them on the mat when I want to. So it helps. Just used to grinding. It makes me tough. Wrestling is what made me tough in the first place. So it just helps me a ton.
All right, so you move up to 2-0, and obviously at 185. What's next for you?
Today, I'm going to relax. I'm going to go see everybody that came and saw me, give my mom a hug, and then we'll just see what else we got planned for me.
Right, and training out of a gym like Strong Style, you know, a ton of killers up there, Stipe, Miocic, Brian Rogers. How does that help you training with a bunch of killers like that?
It's amazing. I have no fear going in here. Having to stand across from Roger, I train with Rogers a lot. I had to stand across from him in the cage on. I had to stand across from him in the cage a whole bunch. It's one of my main sparring partners, so going with him makes it so I have no fear. Going with him, Forrest Pets, Nick Duel, all those guys, Joe Heiland, it makes it so these guys got nothing coming for me.
All right, David McKinney here with undefeated fighter JT Miller at Fight Night in the Flats. Definitely a name to look out for in the near future. McKinney here from GatewayMMA.com with John Antanitis, victorious on the card tonight at Fight Night in the Flats 8 in Cleveland. A victory over Steve Burton. Can you just talk a little bit about the win?
Came out early. I caught him with a big punch. He was stunned. Went back and forth a little bit in the first round. Felt good about it. Came out in the second. He just put his head down, gave me a good spot. I just choked him out with a guillotine.
Right, a nice standing guillotine actually put him completely out.
Yeah.
Did you actually know that he was out, or did it take until the referee pulled you off of him?
Once I started to feel him get heavy, like I looked over to the ref. Ref waited a little bit to make sure, and then I let him down. I was pretty sure he was out at that point. I was just waiting for the ref to step in.
Right, and some people were calling this a preview of the finals in the NAAFS middleweight division this year. Is that something that maybe you want to come back and go for that title at the end of the year?
Yeah, if I keep winning, I'll definitely be back. You know, I'll be fighting the best just to, you know, wherever there's a challenge, I'm ready.
Right, and he was definitely one of the top guys at 185 in NAAFS, obviously the runner-up last year. How does it feel fighting a tough guy like that in just your second NAAFS fight?
You know what, I was pretty worried because I knew he was dangerous coming in, but after this fight, it's good for the confidence. Makes me feel good about myself.
All right, and I heard after the fight that you're fighting in a couple of weeks out in Yankee Lake. Can you just talk a little bit about what's coming up for that fight?
Just training hard. They'll be ready. Just going to go in and look to hopefully get another win. So I've got to defend my title at Yankee Lake. So.
All right, David McKinney here with John Antanitis at Fight Night in the Flats 8 in Cleveland. Definitely a guy to look out for at 185. David McKinney here from GatewayMMA.com with victorious at Fight Night in the Flats 8. Dominic Mazzotta, you got a first-round submission win over Mike Velazquez. Talk about the fight.
Yeah, I knew he had good hands. You know, I thought that I could stand with him, but my plan was to take him down a little bit, beat him up a little bit, and then hopefully knock him out standing up. I got a big slam at the beginning, and I felt him. I felt him get weaker, so I kept the pace on. My corner was screaming, hit him. So I kept hitting him, but he kept coming. He was a tough guy. He kept coming. He threw the triangle choke on. I just, we've been working on lifting, so I lifted him, slammed him. I thought he was going to be out there, but he toughed it through. You know, I wanted to land some more shots, but he gave me his head, and my corner was screaming, guillotine, guillotine. So I grabbed the guillotine, and I have a real good guillotine. It's something I work a lot. I'm a big fan of Marcelo Garcia, Marcelo Garcia, and he has a great guillotine. I study him a lot, and threw it on, and he went out, man. It was great.
Right, and he went completely out on the guillotine. You said that you actually didn't know that he was out until the ref stopped it. So
I didn't know he was out. My corner was screaming, he's out, but he was on top of me, so I couldn't really tell. And then he ended up being out cold.
Right, and your nickname, the Honey Badger. Talk a little bit about how you got that nickname.
Well, I'm sure everybody has seen the video, The Honey Badger by Randall. It's a YouTube video. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's pretty funny. I just took that video, I showed it to my jiu-jitsu class, and they started calling me the Honey Badger. It's just a funny thing. It kind of stuck. You know, people are saying the Honey Badger is being played out lately, so yeah, I think I might have to find a new nickname if someone gives me one. I don't know. Mark Jericho called me War Mazzotta. People are calling me Destruction Mazzotta. So we'll see.
And after the fight, you said you wanted to fight Wes Hansen. You're actually supposed to fight him on this card. Is that what you want next?
Yeah, I would like to fight Wes next. You know, I wasn't calling him out or anything. I'm sure he had a reason why he didn't fight me tonight, and I mean, it was probably a bigger opportunity for him to fight yesterday. If they can make the fight happen, you know, I'll fight him. I think that's a good fight for him, for me to showcase my skill against him, what I can do.
All right, David McKinney from GatewayMMA.com here with Dominic, the Honey Badger Mazzotta, victorious at Fight Night in the Flats. Definitely a guy to look out for at 145 in the future. All right, David McKinney here from GatewayMMA.com with Shane Valko, victorious in the first round, victory over Ryan Arce. Definitely one of the higher ranked guys here in NAAFS, and I believe this is your first fight for NAAFS, so definitely made a statement here.
Yes, definitely is my first fight for NAAFS, and I'm glad they gave me the opportunity to come on here and showcase my talents.
Right, and obviously you admitted after the fight you're a wrestler. Everybody knows you're a wrestler coming from the Mat Factory in Pittsburgh. But you hit a quick throw early on in the first round, and definitely wanted to take it to the ground. Just talk a little bit about what your game plan was going into this one.
Well, you know, I studied some film on him. I knew he was a boxer. I knew he was going to come out hard, swinging. So, you know, the thing I was worried about was just dodging the punches, getting a couple body shots in, come with maybe hopefully an overhand right just to catch him, get him off guard, and get in my leg attacks. You know, and I wound up in a belly to belly, and I hopefully took him for a ride.
And 135, definitely one of the most stacked divisions here at NAAFS. Is that what the future plans are for you to go for that title at the end of the year, or what are your immediate plans?
Yes, definitely. You know, just gonna go every day and train hard. You know, I have great coaches. I've great sparring partners, as you saw. Dom Mazzotta, one of my training partners, and so he's been working with me in my hands, and you know, I'm just getting better and better every day, and gonna start working harder and harder every day too.
All right, and David McKinney here with undefeated 5-0 fighter Shane Valko at Fight Night in the Flats 8. Definitely a guy to look out for at 135.
Sir.
All right, David McKinney here from GatewayMMA.com with Jeff Hughes. Earned a hard-fought unanimous decision victory over James Rankin at Fight Night in the Flats 8. Can you just talk a little bit about the fight?
Yeah, it didn't go as planned. You know, I still got the W, but you know, I fight to finish people, and when I don't do it, I kind of, you know, not happy with my performance. So, but you know, I'm still happy I got the W.
Right, and coming in obviously as the defending NAAFS heavyweight champion, now you move up to 10-2. It seems like it's getting harder and harder for NAAFS to find heavyweights for you to fight as an amateur. Does that mean that you need to go pro soon, or what are your plans for the immediate future?
You know, I do what my coach wants me to do. You know, John Cook and Ryan Madigan. You know, when they say go pro, it's time to go pro. But until then, I'll keep fighting amateur, and hopefully they can still give me fights.
Right, and Rankin came in as seems like an unorthodox guy, almost like he had like a kung fu style, and you know, kind of is that something that threw you off a little bit? Was his unorthodox style, or?
Yeah, it's hard to fight someone when you don't see their style in practice ever. You know, you don't like to see it when you first get in there, but you know, I kind of picked up on Simon, and I knew it was just time to take him down and, you know, work for position, because he's throwing punches from the bottom, and, you know, a lot of people don't do that. So it was just an awkward fight, and you know, what can you do?
Right, definitely a lot of ground and pound was part of the game plan tonight against Rankin. Is that something that you've been working on a lot recently?
You know, I've always felt like I had that. It's the more, you know, stand-up we have been working on. You know, I didn't show it in this fight, but I feel like that's my strong suit now. It used to be wrestling, ground and pound, but you know, I'll stand with anybody, really. It's just you know, when they're orthodox. When they're unorthodox, it's a little different. So, yeah.
All right, man. Congratulations on the win. Definitely looking forward to seeing you out again next time. That was David McKinney here with Jeff Hughes at Fight Night in the Flats. All right, David McKinney from GatewayMMA.com here with Josh Krizan. Victory, razor-thin split decision at Fight Night in the Flats. Can you just talk a little bit about the fight?
It was a tough one.
Like John Cermak said, it looked like he won the first round. He won the second round, and the third round you guys just went back and forth. So
yeah. I wasn't expecting him. Well, I knew he was going to try to take me down, but I didn't think he was going to be able to do it until he did in the second round. I guess I was a little tired, but hey, it happens.
Right, and he was definitely one of the top-ranked guys in the NAAFS welterweight division coming into this fight.
I don't know how. He's 3-0. You know, but
right.
I guess he beat David Stavka. I mean, that's a big deal, so I guess that's how it can be how.
Right, so is this definitely a big win for you? Are you looking forward to going for that title in December?
I don't know. We'll see right now. It's up in the air. I might be going out of the country to Canada for work in a couple months. I'm not sure if I'm going to or not, but that's definitely a big factor in this decision. So.
All right, man. Excellent performance tonight. Like I said, hard fought win. Anything else you want to mention? Anybody want to thank?
My whole Wrestling Factory team and my family for coming up to support me.
All right, Josh Krizan, split decision win at Fight Night in the Flats. David McKinney here from GatewayMMA.com with Tyler Saltsman. Picks up a unanimous decision win at Fight Night in the Flats 8 over Jerrell Hodge. Definitely a lot of wrestling going on. You get back a little bit to your roots. Can you just talk a little bit about how the fight went?
You know, what I try to do is I just try to be patient and stick to my game plan, keep getting angles, and work my kicks, because I knew he had a little reach on me, and he's a pretty good boxer, so I was utilizing my kicks and my knees against the cage and wrestling, you know, because every time I look to shoot, his hands would drop, I'd come up and throw, then I'd shoot again, and I could feel him wearing down. So not only was I just going back to my roots, but I was mixing in my wrestling with my boxing, with my Muay Thai more effectively, as well as looking for openings and controlling the ring.
Right, and I know one thing that Cody Garbrandt said that gave him fits against Jerrell Hodge was his the angles that he used and the boxing. But you didn't really seem to have a problem with that. And actually, in the second round, it seemed like you were about to finish that fight. I mean, you hit him with a bunch of knees and had him up against the cage. How close do you think you were to finishing that fight?
You know, I felt like I was real close. You know, if I could throw elbows and knee to the head, I think I could have finished him, because he was just ducking, and I couldn't really get in there with my hands. And so I could only knee him in the body, so I couldn't really do enough damage. But if it was pro rules and I could knee him in the head or kick him in the head or drop some elbows on him, you know, I definitely would have been able to finish him. I heard him, but I think what I heard him the most is some of the knees to the body, because I just, you know, I felt him kind of grunt, and then his knees started to collapse, and I could just feel him getting more tired.
Right, and your last fight for NAAFS, you went up to 145 and beat Francis Healy, a very tough guy down up there. Now you're back at 135. Are you planning on going for the title at the end of the year, or what are your immediate plans for the future?
You know, I'm not sure. I was thinking about just dropping down to 25 and going pro. I mean, I've had this my 13th fight now. So, you know, it all depends. I got to talk to my agent and see what he wants me to do, and I'm just going to keep working. I have school, my one last semester at Penn State, so I might just keep doing amateur until I graduate.
Right, and you said this was obviously this is your third time fighting for Fight Night in the Flats. Obviously, I mean, that meant a lot to you, fighting third time at one of the biggest shows for NAAFS. Can you just talk a little bit about what that means to you?
You know, it's pretty cool, because not a lot of fighters get to fight on this card back to back to back, if get on it at all. So, you know, NAAFS has been great to me, and I continue to, you know, I just want to continue to develop a good relationship with Greg and Nicole, and keep going.
All right, Tyler Saltzman picks up a unanimous decision at Fight Night in the Flats. David McKinney from GatewayMMA.com here with Sarah McLeod, victorious over Amber Ignotowski on the preliminary card here at Fight Night in the Flats 8. That was so far the fight of the night. Can you just talk a little about the fight? You look excellent on your feet, striking, and you won a unanimous decision.
Yeah, thank you very much. My goal was to throw my hands. I like to use my hands, obviously, and I would have liked to finish it. I was trying to be a little more aggressive than usual, and she's a tough girl. I couldn't finish her, and I give her a lot of respect. She's only 18. She's got a long ways to go in this sport, and it was a great fight, great crowd, and I want to thank the NAAFS for having us.
Right, and something that I noticed during the fight is that the whole fight she was circling right into your right hand, your power hand, and was eating that right hand all night. Is that something that you definitely picked up on early in the fight?
Yeah, I mean, she was circling so much. Actually, after the first round, I told my corner, like, what do I do? She keeps circling, like, really fast, and I was having a hard time catching her. So round 2, round 3, like, I kept trying to cut her off and try to catch her with a right hand. And, yeah, she had really good footwork.
Right, and I heard that next week you're going to be competing in a bikini contest. So just go ahead and tell everybody a little bit about that.
Yeah, another hobby of mine, kind of on the other end of the extreme from MMA, is I like to compete in fitness shows, and I compete in the bikini category, and I'm preparing for one that's going to be in Omaha. It's a national qualifier, and yeah, that's my goal for next week. So I'm going to have a big meal tonight, and then I'm back on dieting again and getting ready for a bikini.
So then after that, what's your future inside the cage? Do you know yet, or are you just focusing on the bikini contest now?
I'm also in full-time school for the summer, so this was going to be my last MMA fight for a couple months, and I've got a lot to work on, and I think I'll come back even stronger for my next fight.
All right, that's Sarah McLeod, victorious via unanimous decision over Amber Ignotowski at Fight Night in the Flats 8. All right, David McKinney from GatewayMMA.com here with Amber Ignotowski, who unfortunately picked up your first loss via unanimous decision tonight, but was the fight of the night. Can you just talk a little bit about being involved in one of the best women fights that I've ever seen, and definitely the fight of the night so far?
I mean, she hit really hard. She had a long reach on me too, but I tried.
Right, and almost the whole fight was stand-up. Was that your game plan going in?
Yeah, I'm more of a striker.
Right. So you're 18 years old coming out. You were 5-0 heading into the fight. What's your future in MMA? What are your plans?
Whatever he wants me to do.
All right, so we'll ask, what's her future?
She's getting back in the gym, keep training. She's young. You know, this is all amateur. It's just for experience for now. And you know, in my opinion, it doesn't really count till you turn pro and you start getting paid. So.
Right, and NAAFS definitely has one of the deepest amateur women's divisions. Is this a place you want to keep fighting? You know, for NAAFS?
Absolutely.
All right, David McKinney from GatewayMMA.com here backstage at Fight Night in the Flats 8 with Chris, the Cleveland assassin Lozano, returning to Cleveland for the first time in a year. Obviously coming off of a couple of losses, but you get back on the winning track here tonight with a first-round TKO over James Warfield. Just talk a little bit about the fight. I know there was a little bit of controversy at the end.
Yeah, I hit him with a combination at the end of the round. He was shook up from it. I don't know. He was complaining to the referee and everybody, telling him that he felt that I had hit him late and that he wanted 5 minutes. I told the referee, I told everybody that I felt like, you know, we was just banging and that's part of fighting, but I'll give him as much time as he wants, you know. Right. So.
And obviously you were supposed to fight Kyle Baker for the NAAFS welterweight title coming into this fight. Yeah. You mentioned afterwards that that's a fight that you still want. Is that what you hope for next?
Yeah, I mean, I'll fight anybody, but yeah, it'd be nice to get a shot at the title. I want to fight. I want to win some titles. You know what I mean? So yeah, absolutely. And Kyle's a tough opponent. He's a great fighter, and those are the guys I want to fight. I want to fight good guys. And how does it feel to be back home in front of your hometown fans in Cleveland? Obviously, you got a nice ovation going out there. Yeah. How does it feel to be back home in front of your hometown fans? It feels great, man. You know, I'm coming off a couple losses, and you know, to come home in front of Cleveland and get a win, and break the losing streak and just feel the energy, man. It's awesome. You know, my son here helped me get ready for the fight, Justin, and he was training with me, man. And I just love home. There's no place like home, man. Right, and obviously you moved to Evolve MMA for this fight. Actually moved there a few weeks ago or a few months ago. Can you just talk a little about the new team and kind of how you've almost sort of reinvented yourself here? Yeah, Evolve's awesome, man. Ryan Madigan, John Cook, the jiu-jitsu program, everything about that place is just awesome. You know, they're growing. They're newer than most MMA schools, so, you know, it's taking them some time, but they're getting there. They got some studs there, and it's been awesome just learning, you know. I mean, I'm a huge advocate of cross-training, and I started my career off at Strong Style, and I look forward to training with them too, but it's nice to get out there and learn from different people because it definitely just adds more and more to your game. Right, and obviously a big win for you tonight. Anything else you want to mention? I just want to thank my sponsors, Boss Ruin MMA, Thick as Thieves for making an awesome shirt, Tequila Ranch, and I want to thank my team, Fearless Fight Team, Evolve. I train with both those guys. I want to thank everybody, anybody that's been there for me, family, friends, media, everybody that had my back and supported me. Just thank you. All right, David McKinney here with Chris Lozano, getting double digits now, wins 10th win at backstage at Fight Night in the Flats 8. All right, David McKinney here from GatewayMMA.com with the still NAAFS featherweight champion, Frank Caraballo. Picked up a first-round submission win over Antonio Castillo in the main event. Can you just talk a little bit about the fight?
I knew it was going to come out hard. He was fighting with anger, and I knew I just had to stay calm and keep my mind and stay focused and be ready for anything he brought at me. Right, and there was definitely some bad blood, as we talked about heading into this fight. That was one of the most intense stare-downs I think I've ever seen. Yeah, it was pretty intense, but a stare-down doesn't scare me. We had to throw punches after that, so.
Right, and obviously he went and immediately shot for the takedown, which you said you expected. But it seemed like the key here for you definitely was to be able to stay on your feet,
Right.
and obviously throw elbows. You know, as he looked for that takedown, and then you jumped on his back and got that choke. How satisfying was this win for you?
It's very satisfying. I didn't want it to go 5 rounds. I wanted to make a statement, and I did that in the first round.
Right, and we talked once again before the event that you said this was, you thought that if you got, a devastating win, which you did, that you thought that you'd be ready for the next level. Do you feel like that you're ready for the next level? Obviously, you said after the fight, but, is that the next step for you?
Yeah, I'm ready. I mean, I train hard. I got a bunch of you guys to train with, and I'm just ready to test my skills on another level.
All right, Frank, anything else you want to mention?
No, I just thank all my fans, my training partners, and everyone who supports me. And I'll just keep training hard and hopefully keep winning.
All right, David McKinney here with NAAFS featherweight champion Frank the Tank Caraballo. Picks up a first-round submission win over Antonio Castillo at Fight Night in the Flats 8.